I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the three of the biggest news stories from the Australian influencer landscape this week. I do have a bonus fourth story that I discovered after I'd already posted the headlines. So the first story I'm going to talk about is Josh Moss and Cassidy McGill. They are both ex-Love Islanders, Love Island Australia Season 1, and they have got a podcast called No Hard Feelings, and this week they shared their feelings about two Australian influencers, and they were very controversial opinions. So the first one was within the first few minutes of the podcast. The episode is episode 90, Why Aren't Guys Making the First Move, if you do want to listen to the whole thing. So within the first few minutes, Cassidy opened saying that she does not like Matt Zukowski. She said that she finds him creepy. So he's also an ex-Love Islander. He was on season 2, I believe. So I'm sure they've come across him many times over the years, being that they are all Love Island alumni. But yeah, I thought that was very bold of her to say. And Josh actually said, we're probably going to edit that out because I guess he thought it was probably a bit controversial. But she's like, nah, it is what it is. Like, I own my opinions and whatever. So yeah, that was very bold. Like, you don't often hear influencers being so bold about their opinion of other influencers. Like, they all are very secretive and don't throw each other under the bus, I suppose. And then the second bit of tea, I suppose, that they had in their episode was Josh mentioned that he was out in Bali recently, and he was saying that there's a pretty Melbourne girl duo that's known for being bad. I don't know what he meant by bad. I think he meant like as in they are a bit bitchy, maybe? Is that maybe what he meant by bad? That's just my interpretation, not sure. He said that one of them was out with another influencer. Josh had met her before and went up to her and said hi. She was like, whoa, get back. And then one of Josh's friends who had been to her house previously, the friend said hi too, and then she did the same to him. So everybody immediately was guessing that the Melbourne duo that have a podcast, I think he mentioned they have a podcast, and yeah, they're known for being bad. Everybody assumed immediately that was Izzy Armitage? Yeah, Izzy Armitage and Sam Guggenheimer, because they have their Just for Girls podcast and they were in Bali recently. So I immediately, along with everybody else, assumed that this story was about Sam Guggenheimer, but I have since heard from a reliable source, and this is a very reliable source, like sometimes my reliable sources are not that reliable, a reliable source, that it was not about Sam herself, it was about one of Sam and Izzy's friends. So yeah, if you do listen to the podcast again, he said that, what did he say? One of them was out with another influencer. So I think he's saying that, yeah, like one of Izzy and Sam was out with another influencer. So yeah, it's the other influencer that was rude to Josh and his friend and pretended she'd never met him. So with that one, I'm going to guess that it was their friend Jasmine Tavares. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her surname, Jasmine Tavares maybe. But yeah, no confirmation on that one, but that is just what I'm thinking for that one. All right, so I'll go through the comments now because I'm going to do it comments straight after the story this week. And then I'll do a Q&A at the end because I didn't do one last weekend. People were a bit sad about it. Ooh, people are writing stuff about some upcoming stories. It is very interesting. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the comments that are relevant to this article. Matt Zukowski is not an influencer. Yeah, I definitely think he is. He is very much an influencer. He does paid promotion of products to influence people to buy them. And I guess that is the definition of an influencer. When is Tammy's wedding? I will get to that soon because I'm going to talk about her hens party as like the fourth bonus story. Someone's saying here, I can't not say anything. Sam and Izzy are truly beautiful people. Okay, lol, bye. Oh, that's their friend Isabella Petzel. Is that how you pronounce her name? I'm just screenshotting that just so I can talk about that with subscribers later. Someone wrote, I love you, but she bullied 3 of my best friends in school to the point they had to leave. Okay, yikes. That is not good news. I mean, it has been a long time since she's been in high school, so let's hope she's changed. She doesn't give off bitchy vibes at all to me, Izzy Armitage, but yeah, that is somebody's secondhand story. It's interesting with secondhand stories because they're never quite the truth, are they? So not really sure what would have happened there. All right, so the next story I'm going to cover is Sopha Dopha has issued Holly Mueller with a legal letter prior to the launch of her podcast. So Holly Mueller and her friend Bill Barker, they released a podcast this week called, what is it again? Sensory Overload. Okay, Holly Mueller and Bill Barker released a podcast this week called Sensory Overload. And prior to the first episode being released, they released like a teaser saying that they're going to be spilling the tea about friendship fallouts and things. And Sopha Dopha got on the forefront, I suppose, and got her lawyer to issue them with a legal letter, just warning them, make sure you're aware of defamation laws, and if you lie, this can be considered defamation. And if you do defame our client, Sopha Dopha, we will be issuing you with a notice of concerns. So it wasn't a legal letter in the way that they weren't saying we're going to proceed legal action. They're just saying, just be aware that we're watching this. Don't say anything that will make us issue a legal letter, if that makes sense. And honestly, I think that it was really smart from Sopha Dopha. In the end, the podcast actually spoke quite highly of Sopha. So Holly mentioned that I think she said something about she was just in the right place at the right time on the day that something happened. So I'm not really sure what that's about. Hang on, I've written here what she said. No, I haven't actually. So she's sort of just said that she was in the right place at the right time on the day that something happened. But she says that Sopha is a really great person and that they just grew apart, and sort of said that she's not wanting to be involved in the Melbourne drama anymore, and that the Melbourne influencer world is very fake. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I thought it was also interesting that she actually spoke highly of Sopha. Overall, I think that her name's Sophia Begg. I think that Sophia's posting of this legal letter to them, and then they've plastered it all over the internet. They've really utilised this as promotion for their first episode, which has been very smart on their behalf. So I think it was actually smart of Sopha to issue the letter. I think it was smart of them to utilise it as marketing. I certainly wouldn't have listened to the episode unless it was all this drama surrounding it. So yeah, it's been really good. Have I written anything else here? Oh yeah, so then somebody commented on Sophia's TikTok video saying someone doesn't want to get exposed. And obviously that was in relevance to the legal letter that she had sent to Holly and Bill. And then she replied to them. So this is Sopha's statement about the situation. She wrote, "Someone doesn't want lies spread. It was a precaution to make sure no lies were shared. Defamation is about lies, not truth." And yeah, I think that that is very true. She did also write in a Facebook group that when she heard the teaser, it was implying that there was some big dramatic story about why they fell out. And Sopha was saying there was no drama. So why would they be talking about a drama story if there wasn't any drama? And that's why she thought that they were going to be telling lies. But yeah, they didn't tell lies. And when Bill asked Holly the question, he's like, that people want to know about your friendship fallout with Sopha. Holly immediately was like, oh, nah, I don't want to talk about that. And that's what I was talking about before with Josh and Cassidy. Influencers don't usually throw each other under the bus like that. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. And also speaking of throwing influencers under the bus, although this is a bit cryptic as well, influencer Cezzy Brown, she mentioned this week that she has an ex who was a narcissist and used to ask her to shave the blonde hairs on her upper lip. So yeah, just the blonde hairs on her upper lip. And I mean, it's not a big deal, of course, but it's also kind of mean at the same time. And Cezzy is Melbourne based, and she said that her ex, who was a narcissist in her opinion, is now engaged to a big Aussie influencer. So everybody obviously is assuming that that is Matt Zukowski, because he was also Melbourne based just until recently, and he is engaged to Tammy Hembrow, who is a big influencer. I can't think of anybody else who fits the description. I'm not sure. I don't have any recollection of Matt Zukowski and Cezzy Brown ever dating, but who knows? It could have been a high school thing. Not sure. I haven't seen any proof of that. But yeah, that's a bit of a tie-in to both of the first two stories. One was about Matt Zukowski, and one is about throwing influencers under the bus. All right, so the third story is Andre Rebelo. So Gracie Piscopo... Oh, sorry. I need to have a look at the questions first. That's what I'm doing. Oh, someone here, Bianca Cass, also said Matt is creepy. Matt sleeps with everyone. I mean, these are just opinions, of course. I haven't. I mean, Matt Zukowski has actually admitted that he has slept with like hundreds of women. He admitted that on Love Island, so I guess that one is true. People did ask me last week though, like I have met Matt in real life, and people asked me what was he like, and I said that he was very charismatic. Like he's very much like a loud, chatty person who's very interesting, and like, yeah, when he talks, people listen kind of thing. I don't know, I found him very charismatic. I didn't find him creepy in any way. But maybe he's not creepy to me. He might be creepy to like hot young girls. I don't know. If you did miss the first stories, I do post them on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch. I will post a link like pretty much after this. Okay, no questions about Sopha and Holly, really. I suppose everybody's caught up on that one anyway. All right, and then the third story, as I said, was Andre Rebelo, who is the ex of influencer Gracie Piscopo. So, yeah, there have been detailed updates on his court proceeding. So he has been, I don't want to get the words wrong in case it's defamatory, but he has been charged, or he's been suspected. He's currently in jail awaiting trial for the suspected murder of his mum. I think that is what the case is. And also for suspected fraud charges, which, okay, he has admitted to 4 counts of guilt. So 4 counts of fraud. He has said he is guilty of 4 counts of fraud. The 4 are, he faked his mum's will to say that he was the executor. He faked her cause of death on a coroner's report. He faked psychologist letters and he saying that she was not suicidal. And he also faked a psychologist voicemail saying that she was not suicidal. So the 4 counts of fraud were all in order to get an insurance payout for a life insurance policy that he took out, I believe, 5 days prior to his mum's death. So I probably should have warned you all, this is a very heavy topic. But yeah, this happened in 2020 that his mum passed away, and yeah, immediately people were, including his family. Actually, I think it was about a year later that it all sort of came unfolded when he tried to, I've been reading like these articles, and yeah, he tried to make a claim on this insurance policy that he took out 5 days prior to her death, and it was the insurance company that alerted authorities saying something's going on here, this isn't right. But yes, he has pleaded guilty to the 4 counts of fraud trying to get an insurance payout, but he is still denying that he murdered his mum. This Age article, theage.com.au, they also went on to report that Gracie tried to call him multiple times during the hour that he was at his mum's house that day. So there is phone tower proof that he spent at least an hour at his mum's house that day. And yeah, Gracie tried to call him during that hour. So I suppose that shows that she wasn't there. Maybe her phone was pinging somewhere else, or maybe that shows that, because she was trying to call him, she wasn't there. He was being pursued by 2 debt collectors at the time of his mum's death, and the couple had no assets. So I suppose, yeah, being in debt doesn't prove that you murdered your mum, but people see this as suspicious behaviour, the fact that he didn't have money and then took out an insurance policy on her life and then made a claim on it. And then also they reported that in the year before his mum's death, he had worked at Coles supermarket, which is so interesting because these influencers portrayed this very glamorous lifestyle. Like he portrayed himself as a cryptocurrency trader, and she portrayed herself as a very successful influencer. Also in the year prior to his mum's death, they had asked for a rental reduction. Their rental was $880 a week, and that reduction was denied. He had also withdrawn $9,000 from his super under hardship clauses. So that was like during COVID, you're allowed to withdraw money under hardship. So he had done that. And this is all just painting a picture of his financial situation, I suppose. And the article also mentioned that Gracie was struggling to meet repayments on her Range Rover that she'd purchased for like over $70,000 a year prior. So yeah, that is all very, very crazy information, I suppose. There is a jury on this trial, and yeah, they need to decide, I suppose, whether he is guilty or innocent. But his brother, what's his name? His brother Fabian. Yeah, his brother Fabian actually made a statement in court. And what article is this? Brisbane Times. They've done an article about it, and they've said that Fabian lived with the mum and she had waved him off to work at a nearby shop on the morning of her sudden death, promising to pick him up at 2 p.m. after his shift. But when she failed to show up, he ended up walking home and then he found her. I won't go into details because it gets a bit gruesome. And he also went on to say that he and his sister Monique, they were very shocked at being told that their mother had passed away, whereas they believe that Andre, it says Garcia, told the court. Sorry, I'm just trying not to get names wrong here because of obviously it's a legal case and I don't want to get things wrong and spread misinformation. But yeah, all the details are on brisbanetimes.com.au. This person also said that Andre seemed very composed upon hearing the news and that Gracie and their young son Romeo then arrived at the property in their white Range Rover. I don't know why that's relevant, but it's, I suppose that's just the tie-in to Gracie, which is the influencer. So yeah, I'll see what people are saying here. Because this story has just been popping off. Everybody is loving it. I mean, it sounds really bad to be loving it, but people love true crime. And I mean, at the end of the day, somebody has lost their life, whether it be from medical reasons or from murder, which is just horrendous. But that is the thing. People just love true crime, don't they? Poor Gracie, I honestly feel so bad for her. Someone saying, at this point, it seems that she is completely innocent in the situation. She's currently holidaying with her new partner in New Zealand. And I think that that's probably a good thing to be doing at the time of this trial. It also shows to me that it seems she's not going to be testifying for him or against him, I suppose. And that's probably lawyer advised. I imagine that they're trying to keep Gracie completely separate to this because of their son Romeo. She is the only caregiver of him now, I suppose. So I imagine that has a lot to do with it. Yeah, someone's saying here they showed the crime scene pictures in court today. They did, which, as I said before, I didn't want to detail. But it is all online if you do wish to discover. Oh, it was the paramedic that said that Fabian and Monique were very shocked, whereas Andre seemed very composed. Someone's saying here, poor Gracie, run. So yeah, they did break up as soon as the news broke about the suspicion of Andre, which was about a year after his mum's death. So yeah, they are no longer together. Has Gracie been at the court since the trial started? Not that I'm aware of. The media has been reporting a lot on this and they've never mentioned an appearance by Gracie. Someone's saying here, true crime podcasts are the most popular podcasts. And yeah, that is true. What was the cause of death for the mother? Does anyone know? So apparently the cause of death is unknown, which surprises a lot of people, but I think that is not as uncommon as you think. I know of somebody recently who passed away and the cause of death was also unknown. And it's not that uncommon. What else have we got? He got her cremated before they thought to do an autopsy. Yeah, I did read that back in the day, actually. I have heard that, and that was apparently his choice to do that. And I suppose that is suspicious in itself as well. But I suppose the suicide things from the psychologist that he frauded or faked, I think he was doing that for the life insurance policy because maybe suicide would void the policy. So I'm not sure if she was suicidal, not sure why that all sort of came into it, but I think that is why. All right, I think that's probably enough on that one. And then the fourth bonus story I'm going to talk about is Tammy Hembrow's hens party. So just after I posted the headlines earlier tonight, I was sent that Tammy Hembrow had done a TikTok video about all of the headlines regarding her hens party, which was so interesting. I love when she does these videos. It's just so funny to see her reading them and responding to them. So these were the headlines. Why was she crying on her hens day? So as you may have seen, there were pictures of her going like this and the news was suspecting that she was crying, but she's literally hugging Matt in the photos as well and then smiling a second later. So I thought maybe she was just adjusting her eyelashes and because she's going like this, they think she's crying. But the way she spoke on TikTok, it sounded like she actually was crying because she said that she cries for all emotions, whether she's sad, whether she's happy, whether she's excited. And she, confirmed that they were hugging and nothing was wrong. So then that's how she brushed that one off. There was also a headline about that there had been weeks of tension prior to the hens party regarding a prenup. And she has said, no, there was definitely not weeks of tension regarding a prenup, and that they had agreed on a prenup straight away, and that was to benefit both of them. I suppose, when there's kids involved and when Tammy's obviously a mega millionaire and Matt Zukowski, I assume, is not, it just, makes sense to get one. Oh, sorry. Just got a bit of a tickle. Another headline was that Tammy will be changing her surname to Zukowski, which surprised a lot of people, being that her brand is Tammy Hembrow. But she explained that her kids have different surnames. They've got their dad's surname. So Wolf and Saskia have Reese Hawkins' surname, and then Posey has Matt Paul's surname. So she's not holding on to anything with that name, and that Matt is very happy that she's going to be changing her surname, and she's very excited to do so. She went on to explain that her sister Star, who didn't attend the hens party, there's no drama there, and that Star has been living in Thailand for months now, and Tammy didn't see it as a big deal that she didn't come home for the hens, and she thinks that it's crazy that we all make a big deal of things that are not a big deal to her. But I think she, of course she's going to say that, but that's why she's famous, because we care. We care about every little thing, and we find the more these influencers share, the more we want to know. And that's just how it works. And then finally, the headline about the hall passes. So she had a drinks menu at her hens party, and it was 4 different drinks, and they were named after 4 celebrities, which are her celebrity hall passes. I suppose I can explain hall passes really quickly. Basically, it means that even though you're married, a hall pass is somebody that you're still allowed to sleep with, and it's not considered cheating. So she had 4 people on the hall pass list, and she said that obviously it isn't real. If she meets a celebrity, she's not going to sleep with them, and that it was all just for fun. So she's not thinking about sleeping with other people. It was all just for fun. All right, and that is the bonus story. What are people saying about that one? Tammy is too greedy. Interesting. I've never heard anybody say that she's greedy, but I suppose anybody who's rich, there's going to be people who think that they are greedy. Why are so many influencers buying followers like Sam Rayner and Ashley Bynes? It is embarrassing. They do it for work opportunities, I suppose. I believe Gracie Piscopo also purchases followers. Anybody who's sitting on a round number, 1 million, and then keeps sitting on that and it never grows, that to me immediately is suspicious. But I'd say it's for increased job opportunities. It's just vanity numbers, I suppose, as well. Okay, so I'm just seeing if there's any more comments about Tammy. We only like the dirty details on influencers. That's why they are popular. I disagree with that. I'm guessing this person's not a subscriber, but that is what my subscription is based on. It's not the dirty details. It's the exciting updates. I try not to make it too negative kind of thing. I don't want it to be all tea spilling. It's meant to be this person's launched a business and this person's now in a relationship, and, things that aren't too dramatic. Obviously there's drama in there as well, and I eat that up, but I think that there's more excitement with influencers. They're entertaining. They're meant to be entertainment. So do you know what actually happened with Holly and Soph? No, we still don't know to this day, but don't think they're ever going to tell us. It sounds they're just claiming that they grew apart, and that's about it really. Yeah, so Tammy, with her TikTok video, she never actually spoke about what everyone wants to actually know. Why did she block Matt Zukowski last week? So we'll never know, but it's certainly not the first time she's done it. I did talk about it on my live last week, so I won't go into details now. Oh, Ruby Tuesday Matthews has written here that, sorry, I'll screenshot that as well. The reason why people buy followers is to make people follow them. It actually damages your work opportunities, as when you have to send your insights in, you can see that they're not even in Australia. Totally agree with that. So if you're buying followers from international countries, Then when you're sending in your insights, it's looking like 80% of your followers are from international countries and only 20% are from Australia, which, yeah, does look bad if you're working with an Australian company. Not bad, it just looks less good. The other problem with buying followers is that those followers aren't then interacting with your content because they don't actually care about your content. They're not real people who are engaging. So then your engagement rates are also a lot lower, which then blocks your content from your genuine followers, because Instagram, when you post something, it releases it to a sample of your followers, and based on their reactions to the content, it shows it to more followers. So if they show it to, 50 followers and 40 of them are fake, only 10 people are going to potentially engage. And then Instagram's going to be like, nah, no one really cares about this. We're not going to keep showing it to more people. So yeah, it is a really silly business move in the long term. Who do you think is the most family-friendly influencer as a mum? Oh, I don't know. It really depends what you're into. Olivia White, she seems quite family-friendly. She goes to Disneyland all the time and goes to concerts with her kids, and she's always doing arts and crafts, and she's always talking about Taylor Swift and Qantas frequent flyer points. So I think she's quite family-friendly in terms of the big influencers that are mums. Yeah, I'll go with her. Although I suppose she did have some surgery content a few years ago. She now has deleted all of that, but it depends what you're into. Maybe people like surgery content, but I guess that's not family-friendly content sort of thing. This person is agreeing that Tammy seems greedy. In her book, she talks so much about her stepdad's library in Singapore and chasing wealth. Yeah, I agree she does, but I don't think chasing wealth makes somebody greedy. To me, greedy means you would take down people to achieve that wealth, and I don't think Tammy's about that at all. I think she's about staying in her own lane, understanding that there's room for everybody in this world to make money, understanding that money is infinite. You don't have to take it from somebody. It's just circulating, all those self-help book sort of things. Speaking of self-help, Georgie Stevenson is selling her house, her resort, I should say, because her house is practically a resort. It is so stunning. But she mentioned on a podcast earlier this week that somebody had approached her about buying it, and she has not been there that long, and it would be selling at a profit, but she thought about it and was like, no, I want to stay. But then somebody sent me a link to show me that she's actually got it for sale. So yeah, that's interesting. Also, Adam Sullivan, he purchased a house in Burleigh this week on the Gold Coast for $11 million. It also looks like a resort, and it is the suburb record, the most expensive house that's ever been sold/bought in Burleigh. Oh, okay. Oh, this person is the same person saying that you have to be greedy to seek the lifestyle that Tammy has, but she's equally inspiring with what she's achieved. Both things can be true, I guess. Yeah, I really think that depends on your definition of the word greedy. People are asking me here about Ruby Tuesday Matthews. So she had a whole heap of people commenting on her post, just flooding them, saying, Lara Worthington, pay your debts. There is no explainer. Ruby doesn't know the answer. I have explained, I mentioned this topic a few weeks ago that, I've got no evidence as to what this could possibly be about. I've looked on Lara's page, there's nothing, nobody seems to know. Did you think that the sensory overload content was boring and immature? I personally wasn't that interested, especially about Bill Barker, but I'm sure they've got an audience for it. They do have very big followings on TikTok. And yeah, it probably was immature, but they are only 20 and 23 or something. So that is what I would expect from them, if that makes sense. I don't think it's made for 35-year-old mums, put it that way. What else? It's really hard to read the comments really fast and pick ones out that I can talk about. Oh, someone here saying, I think they're saying about Tammy that she comes from wealth. How is that inspiring? I love rags to riches story. Well, she claims to not come from wealth. So I think that her biological dad and biological mum just lived a modest sort of lifestyle, but it's her stepdad that was a very high-flying executive business person. And I think that it seems that the mum might have met him when Tammy was about 10 from memory, reading her book. What else? Oh yeah, someone's saying about the home that Adam Sullivan bought, Greyer Homes, Greya, Greyer Homes. They have like a portfolio of luxury homes that they build, I suppose, or luxury resorts that they build and then sell to people. And yes, they are insane. Yeah, Ruby Tuesday Matthews is saying here she has no idea what's going on with the Lara Bingle thing. Oh, and that Lara's probably blocked out the words on her own page so that way the comments can't come through. That's very possible as well. Yeah, okay. There's more people here talking about Tammy and her greed. So the same person is saying that, you know, Tammy's hoarding wealth and that's greedy, but then someone's questioning here, what is hoarding wealth? Could she not just be setting her kids up financially? Yeah, also, I think, like, even Georgie mentioned in a podcast this week that someone was saying to her that she should donate to charities more. And she was saying she does donate to a lot of charities. She just doesn't feel the need to publicise it every time she does. And I very much assume that Tammy would be the same. Like, I can't imagine that she's just sitting at home counting her pennies, like, so excited kind of thing. Like, I imagine she is putting a lot of money back into the community. Even like she did a fundraiser for the Big Freeze at the AFL one time. Like, yeah, it's not that she is just hoarding wealth and not giving back at all. Did you watch Ali Gonzalez's podcast? I didn't even know she had one. I will have to give that a listen. Ruby saying that she's not close friends with Lara, but they have a similar friend circle. People are asking me questions about stuff I've already spoken about. So yeah, have to watch that on YouTube if you want to catch up on that. I don't make any money from the YouTube, by the way. I don't know if anyone cares or wonders that. But yeah, you've got to have way more subscribers than I do to even get AdSense. And the views I get are so low that it wouldn't even be a thing, because you've got to have like a certain amount of views per month sort of thing. There's a lot of criteria you've got to meet to get paid for YouTube. All right, I probably should wrap this up because it has been over half an hour. Ruby has also written here, why the hell, I should have just done a joint live. I should have just done a joint live with Ruby, shouldn't I? This would have been really cool. Ruby saying, why the hell do people care what other people do with their money? Just saying more money doesn't equal more happiness. Stay in your lane. Definitely more money doesn't equal more happiness. But I think that it's okay to care somewhat what other people do with their money. Like if people are doing illegal things with their money, for example, or yeah, like I get that people get a bit annoyed when people are making so much money and then not giving back in any way. But yeah, I suppose it really doesn't matter. You can just unfollow that person. I think that's the key. There was a video today I posted to subscribers about unfollowing people who don't make you happy or inspire you or make you feel good about yourself. And it's so, so true. All right, well, I better sign off for the night. So thank you all for joining me, and I will post this on YouTube and talk to you all soon. If I didn't get to your DM, if I didn't get to your question, definitely send me a DM and we'll talk about it in there because I love talking about influencers. So I'll see you all soon. Bye.